What's up, guys? It's Dave Marshall with the RC Air Marshall YouTube channel, and today we're taking a look at the FrSky X20S. This is our first impressions, and what we're looking at here is the case that the X20S comes in. It's a nice rigid case. It's kind of a cloth covered. It's got the raised FrSky logo here on the top. We'll go and flip this open. And it'll show you everything that comes in the box. So the box, I mean, you basically have the case. You've got two gimbal protectors. Inside that foam is where our transmitter sits. We'll go ahead and take that out. And we've also got a strap here, a neck strap. And you also get your, like a quick start guide. And you get some stickers. Pretty nice case. This foam is nice and thick, should protect it pretty well. I wanted to take a look at the X20S because this particular radio has some features in it that I'm very interested in at a very affordable price point. So I wanted to, check one out, see if the new operating system that they're running on the X20S, the Ethos operating system, is any easier to use than OpenTX. And so far, I got to admit that I'm pretty impressed. So the shell of the X20S is plastic, but it's a very, nice feeling, plastic material. The gimbals on the S model, so there's an X20 and the X20S. The difference between them is the X20S has nice CNC milled aluminum gimbals, and these are very nice, very smooth, 10 ball bearings in each gimbal. So you get a very nice set of gimbals right out of the box. The X20S is equipped with a screen that you can see very prominent here on the top. It's got an anti-glare coating, so it turns out real nice in the sun. So we've got, our standard complement of switches, 4 three-way switches in the front, 2 three-way switches on the shoulders, and then on the back we've got 1 momentary switch and another 2-way switch. On the front panel you've got 2 potentiometers here, which both have a very nice detent, for the center. You've got 2 sliders on the right hand side and the left hand side, and those also have a very nice center detent on them, so you can feel that without looking. You've got 4 of the kind of same kind of CNC milled aluminum trim switches, which have a very nice tactile feel to them. You've got a scroll here, a scroll wheel here in the bottom right that also doubles as a push button. Another slider here right in the center, which I have set up as a volume, like a master volume. Over here you've got another selector for your system, display, model, and return, as well as a page functionality with the center button. You've got 6 functions here in a multi-function switch, which can be set up in multiple different configurations. And then on the back, we've got 2 more momentary buttons that you guys can see here, one on the right and one on the left. And when you're holding the X20S in your hand, they're very easy to kind of touch right with your finger there. So very easy to access those. You've got points here, here, and here, as well as here, here, and here. Those open up and allow you to get to the adjustments on your gimbals, so you can tighten them up, loosen them, whatever you need to do. Behind the battery door, we do have a 2S LiPo 4,000 milliamp hour pack to power up the radio, and from what I have observed so far, I've had this thing for about a week, and it's got extremely good battery life. As you notice, it doesn't have any antennas. Your antennas are here behind the screen and also inside the handle. Something that's pretty cool about this radio, and one of the reasons that I wanted to check it out, one of those features that I wanted to check out, is this has both the ability to use an internal transmitter module, which is dual frequency redundant. So it runs on, it has both a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter module as well as a 900 megahertz transmitter module, which both broadcast simultaneously. The nice part about that is that if your 2.4 gigahertz drops off, the 900 will pick up for it automatically. If you keep watching the channel, for videos that we're going to have on the X20S here in the future. We will definitely have some videos discussing how we can take advantage of that dual frequency redundancy that the X20S offers. So looking here at the top, you'll see that we have two covers on either side. This is so we can attach external antennas. So if we open those up, you'll see little antenna ports inside there, and we can hook external antennas up to each one of those, one for the 900 megahertz and one for the 2.4 gigahertz connection. Behind this long rubber cover, we'll go ahead and lift that up. We have a headphone jack. We've got a USB-C connection. I believe we have a trainer port, and we have an S port here, right? Basically a standard like servo type connection that we can use to program receivers that are not over-the-air programmable. The USB-C port under here does support charging, and it also supports charging up to 3 amps or 15 watts for quick charging if you have a quick charge compatible charger. It does not include the charger, and it does not include the USB-C cable, so you will need to provide that. Now, as far as the feel, when I hold on to this, and you can see kind of how my hands, kind of fit around the grips on the radio, it's not uncomfortable at all. I mean, the thing fits in your hand very nicely. It's not heavy at all. It weighs right around 2 pounds. The gimbals feel very nice. And one of the things that's kind of cool about this radio is, at least with these aluminum gimbals, I'm not sure about the plastic ones that come on the standard X20, but the X20S, these aluminum gimbals are able to be rotated around. So if I wanted to, kind of rotate that around, you see how your thumbs, right now I can go up and down, side to side, whatever I need to do. But if we were to rotate those, say we rotated this counterclockwise just a hair, now I can have a much better angle and, have the thumb just go straight up and down rather than, being in kind of an awkward scenario. So having the ability to turn that, really kind of allows you to tune the feel and the ergonomics of the radio to suit you best. I have to say, I do really like the all-black exterior. It's got like that nice professional look to it. Obviously, it has taken some styling from other FrSky radios that have come before it, specifically like the X12 of the old Horus line. But I think that they've done something really nice here. It's a very nice design. It feels good in the hands. One of the things that I don't quite enjoy, just being honest, is the way that the sliders are set up. They seem like they're set up more for operation from the front of the radio rather than being able to operate them cleanly from the back. So if I am, flying around doing my thing and I need to adjust one of those sliders, I'm having to either put myself in a very awkward position there to move that slider up and down, or I'm going to have to take my thumb off the stick to operate it. Now, I have heard that there are replacement caps or different caps that you can get to go on the ends of those potentiometers that will allow for easier adjustment of those sliders from the back of the radio, where we can get in there and move that without having to take our thumb off the stick and lose control potentially of our aircraft. Now go ahead and turn it on real quick. The thing does power on rather quickly. Whenever you fire it up, you go straight into the Ethos operating system, into the last model that you had called up, and everything is just very snappy. Like I said, it does have a touch screen, which is very responsive. So the touch screen, we can get in there, we can slide things around when we go into our different settings. So here's like our system settings. We've got multiple pages. So you can either use the touchscreen or you can use your click wheel and your system selector down here. So you can either go to System, Model, Display, Return. So that's the display, that's our model screen, and that's our system setup screen. or we can hit return, and that'll go back to our home screen, which is what we're looking at here. If we have multiple screens here, rather than swiping to go back and forth, we can hit that center button here on our mode select, or our screen selection, and that will send us back and forth between the different pages. So that is a page up, or if we press and hold it, it will go page back if we have multiple pages. Instead of using the touch screen, if we wanted to use the scroll wheel, we can go in here, like say to the mixer screen, just press the button, and that will take us into the selection instead of pressing the screen and doing things that way. So you do have a couple of different options as to how you want to interface with the radio, which I also like. Sometimes using that scroll wheel is going to be faster. Sometimes, doing things with your fingers is going to be faster, doing the touch screen. So, you have the ability to do whichever one you want. One last thing I do want to cover before we wrap up this video is that, again, this does have both 2.4 gigahertz and 900 megahertz transmitter modules in it. You do also have an external, it's an FrSky light module bay in the back. So you can add a module here for different types of transmitter modules. We can do like a legacy ACCST V1 module. We can do a dual 2.4 gigahertz module. We can set this up with a multi-protocol module, so we can look at several different protocols outside of the normal FrSky protocols. So there's a lot of options, and I assume that at some point, if it doesn't have it already, you may have crossfire support in here as well. Because this is an FrSky transmitter, it does use the FrSky protocols. Now that does include both the ACCST and access protocols, as well as the new tandem protocol, which uses both the 2.4 gigahertz and 900 megahertz simultaneously. So for ACCST receivers like the X8R that I've got here, it is only going to support these if they're running firmware 2.0 or better. So you have to be running the 2.0 firmware on ACCST receivers, so you can use those older receivers. So it also can sync up to the access receivers like we have here. This is an R6, and that is their access protocol 2.4 gigahertz. They also have their R9 series of long-range 900 megahertz receivers that can sync up to the FrSky X20S. And lastly, like I mentioned, the tandem series. Now this one, you'll see it's got 3 antennas. So we've got our two 2.4 gigahertz antennas here, as well as our T-shaped 900 megahertz antenna. So all of that is built into the single receiver box of the TDR10 that we've got here. This is a 10-channel tandem receiver that supports simultaneous 900 megahertz and 2.4 gigahertz. So you don't need to buy like a 900 megahertz module to go with this guy. It already has that there, and it just functions right out of the box with the dual frequency redundancy. Pretty cool. So that's it for our first look at the X20S. Like I said, guys, this thing I think it's $460. I'm pretty impressed with the quality, the feel. The gimbals feel fantastic. The switches all feel fantastic. If I didn't mention it before, it does come with the switch covers. At the time of the video that I'm making this, they have the X20 and the X20S in both a black and a blue face, and the blue version comes with blue switch covers instead of these black switch covers. In case I haven't mentioned it yet, this is a 24-channel capable radio. Now the other kind of neat thing that we can do here is we can combine receivers. Each model I can bind up to 3 separate receivers and have them all assigned to different outputs. So if I needed 16 channels of outputs, rather than buying a single 16-channel receiver, I could use something like 2 X8Rs and have this one assigned to channel 1 through 8, and the other one is 9 through 16. So another really cool feature that we can do with the FrSky X20S. All right, guys, so that kind of wraps up this first look. Pretty impressive radio for the price. We're definitely going to be making some more videos on this thing. If there's anything in particular that you want to see on the X20S, be sure to leave a comment down below. If you're interested in getting one of these things or checking out the receivers, we're going to have some links to some different places where you can get them for now. But once we have those affiliate links, we'll have those in the descriptions of these videos, as well as on the RC Air Marshal website, which is rcairmarshal.com. When you're shopping for your RC gear, go to rcairmarshal.com. That's a great way to support the channel. And you guys can click any of the links that you find at rcairmarshal.com. And if you make a purchase using any of those links, it pays a small commission to the channel at no additional cost to you. And we really appreciate your support. Thank you guys for watching. We will have some more videos on the FrSky X20S coming very soon. Stay tuned.